up? Well, hello. I can't even waste no time. I'm about to hop right into it. I don't know what my thinking was when I brought that first small tube, but yo, Mizu, they don't have large tubes of this green paint, so I got two more small tubes to make one big tube, just in case. But I'm thinking, like, is that the reason I only got a small tube the first time because I didn't see any larger tubes? And I looked twice. I made sure I'm like, look through the whole rack of big ones, and they don't have this color in the larger tube. So I don't know why I didn't get two the first time, but oh well. I'm about to try to make it do what it do this afternoon. Yeah. Those bastards. You didn't put the lime green in the big tube? Why not? Why not? I don't know. I thought it was me. I went straight for the big tubes. I looked. None in no. Then I looked in the small tubes. I seen them in the small tube. Okay, I'm looking in the big tubes again. Green. Why no? No, it's not here. So I just grabbed two small motherfuckers. What are you doing? What kind of business model is this? What kind of strategy do you have here, guys? That could be true too, because it is a very like almost fluorescent lime green. I like it. Shit kind of is glowing a little bit. But yeah, that's why I got it. So with that base cover on there that has dried overnight, if we can't get a decent cover with these two tubes, I'm calling the company and I'm requesting refunds. I want my fucking money back.
I got a hard time.
Wrong thing. I really feel like I need to this dries. I like it. It's solid. It's nice and solid. Let's see how it dries. It looks good. It looks good now. I'm happy with that. Hey, can we get the thumbs up button, guys? We got a couple of viewers here. Can you please hit the thumbs up for me? Thanks, appreciate it. I'm not gonna watch this out yet. I'm gonna wrap it up again. We're gonna let this dry for about 15. Oh, that bag I had yesterday, I threw that shit out already. I gotta go grab another plastic bag to put this back in. Yo, whoever hit that thumbs up, appreciate it. Thank you. Wrap this up and save it for a few minutes. Just in case we have to do that again. Just in case. The edges definitely gonna hit those edges one more time. But hopefully that might be it, guys. Yo, P, what's good, broski? Oh, that painting got me thirsty. You know what I'm saying? You get thirsty when you be painting hard, man. All that on my knees and all kind of shit, man. Back-breaking work. People think like art is just like la-di-da-di-da. Nah, man, I be crawling around, hunched over, arm raised up for hours at a time. This is serious business, man. This is serious business. You have to be physically fit to be an artist. Huh? Listen to what I'm trying to tell you now. Wait a minute. What fucking album is that shit on? What the hell?
Trap House Entertainment. Can a nigga broad fry? Welcome back to the Boondocks. Let me show you I'm a new spot. My mic's cold and I'm too hot. I don't fuck around with these new cops. They wanna be the man like Chewbacca. I'm too smooth and I move proper. We burn it down and we do it. Black Panthers need a new movement. If you shot, then we shoot in. Just call me Huey P. Newton or Fred Hampton. Uncle Ruckus, I can't stand him. In a nigga moment, I get active. You know help, like a thin jacket. You so fake that you look plastic. And I'm so real, you can't look past it. Y'all get drawn on
Like a cartoon,
and I stay sharp
like a harpoon.
Turn the lights out.
I like a dark room. The Boondocks about to start soon.
Y'all
Get
get
drawn
drawn
on like a cartoon,
and I stay sharp
like a harpoon.
Turn the lights out.
I like a dark room. The Boondocks about to start soon.
We talk politics and that's a big fact. The culture war you can't skip past. Yeah, I jumped in, made a big splash, then hopped out with a big bag and collect cash like it's knickknacks. Plus I pimp hoes like I'm slick back. You a big bitch with a big bag and she eat a dick like a Big Mac. It's a sitcom but ain't shit funny, cause the situation can get ugly. Granddad, my big buddy, About to wild out like Jim Rummy. Might crash out on you big dummies. About to cash out, that's big money. I play around with a big budget, but y'all niggas can't get shit from drawn on like a cartoon. And I stay sharp like a harpoon. Turn the lights out. I like a
The
dark
Boondocks.
room. The Boondocks
About to start soon.
Y'all get drawn on like a cartoon. And I stay sharp
Like a harpoon. Turn the lights out.
I like a dark room. The Boondocks.
Yo, the Boondocks was a good ass show, man. I love that show. Had to make some shoes, wrote a song about it. The original theme song to the Boondocks will always be fucking fire, though. That song was just too fucking good, yo. I'm the stone that the builder refused. Oh, it's just a waiting game now. We just waiting this thing out and see what it look like in the end. If it's good, I'm gonna pull out some fans and open some windows, and we're gonna start stenciling. We'll hit the stencil. Matter of fact, where are my fans at? Oh shit. I have another extension cord somewhere. Where in the hell? It might be across the hall. I don't know. I might have to go downstairs and grab a cord. All right, we got some fans ready. Where's my respirator at? Respirator. Spray painting indoors is serious business, guys. You don't want to breathe this shit in. Bro, 1,000%. I agree, 1,000%. It's crazy that they suggested that for you. That's what's up, bro. He's saying some do it on purpose. Nah, don't breathe. Don't be huffing this shit, bro. Nah, that's crazy that they prompted you to put that shit, bro.
Do it for the art, do it for the love, do it from the heart. Give a fuck who judge. Do it for the art, do it for the love, do it from the heart. Give a fuck who judge. My team made it. Y'all niggas hating, still chasing. Do it for the art.
Nah, that Chardonnay so fire, bro.
Do it for the love. Do it from the heart. Give a fuck who judge.
It only took them 5 years, but you can't rush quality. We all about quality over here, yo. I've been waiting for this. I've been waiting to see this thing finish. That shit's so fire, bro. Bruh. Jesus Christ. That dragon is so beautiful. Damn. Nah, that's what's up, man. That shit came out nice, bro. Finished piece is excellent, dude. It's so good. That shit is so good. Is it too tight? These fucking glasses. That feels about right though. All right. Congratulations on the finished piece. Let's look at this thing real quick. Well, I'll be damned if that don't look good. Mm-hmm. I give a little bit more to dry. I put that whole tube of paint on it just now. I ain't lying. Yeah, give it. Give it another few little minutes. I want it closer to this one. Okay. Right there. Up, up, up. Just like that. There you go. Now more of it is in front of the heater. Oh, actually, let me turn it back this way. Right. Right. Little 2 tree. You know what I'm saying? Little 2 3 more minutes on some drying time. So you want that spray paint to adhere immediately and not crack and start separating the paint that's already on there. So it's Friday. Hey, ain't gotta get up for work in the morning. Ain't that some shit? Ain't no way in hell. Ain't no way in hell, son. Is this AI? 'Cause I don't remember this when I was a kid. The ET finger light? No, sir. Anybody had one of these toys when they was a kid? Children of the 1980s, and I don't remember this. I'm a kid of the 80s and 90s. I ain't never seen a ET phone home finger light. What the hell? No light patches, bro. It's all nice and covered, nice and tight. Yeah, no, I'm good on that, bro. The ET finger light, you slide it on your finger, then you can just wave your little finger lighter. No, I don't like the packaging. I don't like the packaging on that. Lot of mercy. That's wow. That's wow, bro. Mm, surprisingly, no memes this afternoon. I got 50 something fucking emails though, like in my personal email box. Why? There's so many emails in there. All the bill collectors. Your bill is due. Your bill is due. Your bill is due. We're worried about all that shit later. Right? Right. I'm I already got the munchies. I ain't gonna lie, man. I need to go grab. Well, I got these pretzels here. Them pretzels super fucking dry. Yo. Them some of the driest pretzels you ever want to eat. I don't know if I ever buy them again. Them shit is like suck the fucking life out your ass trying to eat a fucking breast stick. hope that shit don't vibrate. I'm not putting that shit on my finger. I never liked the little Chinese finger traps. I ain't never liked to play with them. I'm definitely not sticking some ET light finger with a vibration function. I'm not putting that on my finger. Motherfucker walk around wiping their nose. What the fuck? It's dark out. You can't find your key. Turn on the little finger light. Oh, shit. They flew off the shelf. Single moms everywhere buying them for their nephews and nieces and everybody else. Ma'am, you ain't got no kids. Why you buying that shit? Oh, it's a gift. I'm buying it as a gift. Okay, man. Whatever you say. A gift. Your nephew 2 years old. He ain't never seen ET. Fuck you mean? That boy ain't never seen ET. They say it got a light on it. Ew. I got an 80s and 90s toy right here for you. Now I got a real old school toy, yo. What y'all think it is? Anybody was born in or before the 80s? Anybody born in or before the 80s? If you're like a true 80s baby or before, you would probably be familiar with this thing. Man, these little things are tasty. Close. Nope. It was a popular claymation series. A popular kids claymation series. From like the 80s. If that motherfucker don't know his shit, bro. Claymation, if you're a kid from the 80s and you say claymation, this is probably the first thing you would think of, yo. Bro. The whole packaging, dude. Yeah. Motherfucking Gumby. You don't know Gumby? And Pokey? Pokey the Pony? Bro, you take this thing out the box, this shit'll be like porcelain. You try to bend his ass, like you say. I don't know now. I don't want to try it. That's why I don't think I'll ever open it. But it's an old school toy right here, bro. Motherfucking goddamn Gumby. That's some collector shit. Yo, what this? Where's the other thing? I had one of the old ass handheld like football games. It's not like a Game Boy, but this shit was like do 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 do. But it was like some football shit. I don't know what I did with that shit. Our games were simple back in the day. Now everything got down 4K CGI. Got down 120 frames per second. No way. Oh, how, bro? Can I see through that? I can still see through that part. What the fuck? That is so strange. Bro. I got a hollow spot right here and a hollow spot right there. I feel like I'm gonna never get this canvas covered. This is the toughest one so far. Normally it only take like 2 coats. This is like number 4 right here. The rest of it covered pretty good though. It's just like 2 little hollow spots. I almost feel like I need a different roller, honestly. I almost feel like I need a different roller. Do I have any other rollers on hand, though, is the question. Dude. What is going on, man? I'm gonna go check the basement. I might have something in the basement. If not, there's a hardware store literally like right around the corner. I might have to go. But do I have enough paint for a bigger roller, honestly? As soon as you put the roller down, that shit is gonna soak up half the fucking paint if I get anything bigger. And that's why I try to use the small sponge because they don't absorb as much paint. I could get a mohair roller. I still feel like with any other roller, I may need more paint. I would probably still just roll the whole thing in here. But then also, with the stencil, because even with the stencil you see, I guess, I don't know. So a lot of that will be covered by the stencil anyway. All right. Then I can just go in between with the brush. Or do I absolutely have to roll it again?
Let me go look for a different roller real quick. That's kind of bullshit, man.
Man, you ain't lying, bro. Man, look, bro. What's that bullshit? And
Do it for the art, do it for the love, do it from the heart. Give a fuck who judge. Do it for the art, do it for the love, do it from the heart. Give a fuck who judge. My team made it. Y'all niggas haters still chasing new placements for hanging new paintings. 2025, about to going crazy. Fuck you, pay me, wait till they say. A living legend, I've been sketching since a young boy. I've been drawing, I'm a real artist, no second guessing. My stroke game, that's real pressure. My details, that's real extra. 14 by 16, 24 by 24, 36 by 48. I get it in, you know I'm straight. 14 by 16, 24 by 24, 36 by 48. I get it in, you know I'm straight. Yeah. You know I'm slanging pain, dark colors, deep like gangs, all the tones, all the hues, all the reds and all the blues, and you accuse me of the blues, a few marbles, and a couple screws. I might be crazy, but I pay dues. Stay down, stay true. 14 by 16, 24 by 24, 36 by 48. I get it in, you know I'm straight. 14 by 16, 24 by 24, 36 by 48. I get it in, you know I'm straight. Do it for the art, do it for the love, do it from the heart. Give a fuck who judge. Do it for the
Trap. Now sing to Jane.
About to slay another canvas with an underpainting. Put it in the lineup. I got some others in rotation. Never waiting for the paint to dry. Push it to the side, move to the next. Never break your stride. Keep your drive. Never keep your flame aside. Nourish it and let it shine. Leaving speechless like a pantomime. Performing 99 on I'm a crowd pleaser. Every time, every rhyme, pan fried. Put the heat to the lyrics. I got the weakest gimmicks. Plus your team will get defeated in a scrimmage. Prince with a pen in the pad. Got the neatest image. Keep it simple, make it plain. Rich niggas know my name. Fresher than some cellophane. Royalty about to reign. Keep it simple, make it plain. Rich niggas know my name. Fresher than some cellophane. Royalty about to reign. I'm the prince with a palette, always ready for a challenge. Cause these haters come with malice, so I try to keep it balanced. Art and education, scars and lacerations. I lack patience, you lack common sense. I'm concentrating on my composition, following my intuition. Trusting gut feelings, fuck chilling, back to the mission. And you stay hyper-focused when your back's to the building. Trying to bet a million, play my part with the art. Teaching STEM to the children, looking for an honest living. Thanksgiving to my mentors who show me how to get it. Keep it simple, make it plain. Cause you niggas know my name. Fresher than some cellophane. Royalty about to reign. Keep it simple, make it plain. Cause you niggas know my name. Fresher than some cellophane. Royalty about to reign.
I can never find none of this shit I be needing. What the fuck? I thought I had a send them blockers.
Masterpieces by the heathens. I proceed to count the reasons that the seasons keep me breathing. Calculate your moves, these skeezers keep scheming, keep reaching for your dreams. Plant the seeds, pull the weeds, keep your brushes clean. Stretch your canvas tight, get your colors right. Grab a palette knife, let it cut deep till you bleed out. Hardest shit you can't weep about, see how they creep about. I'm the one they tweak about. I'ma speak until I blow your speakers out. I seek a different route. Keep it simple, make it plain.
I forgot. I'm not walking back in the basement.
Royalty about to rain. Keep it simple, make it plain. Plus you niggas know my name. Fresher than some cellophane. Royalty about to rain. Got some new family members, yeah, my family getting bigger. Got some new family members, yeah, my family getting bigger. Got some new family members, yeah, my family getting bigger. Got some new family members, yeah, my family getting bigger. From December to December, through the summer we some winners. You can mix it like a blender, and my family getting bigger. From December to December, through the summer we some winners. You can mix it like a blender, and my family getting bigger. I got some new family and they help carry me across the finish line, keep me inspired, watch us rewind all the neat times, painting masterpieces or freestyling deep rhymes. We rise, y'all on decline, Windy City, yeah, you know she ride. Homies who are laughing, girl, you know that we fly. Chit-chatting in the live stream while I puff fly, bumping eyes and keep penny. Here's some thoughts for your pennies, and we ain't got too many. Quality over quantity is the best policy. Hit the like and subscribe button so you follow me. I take the inspiration and I run with it. Some get it, some don't, some will, some won't, but we still try to fill them up with hope. I take the inspiration and I run with it. Some get it, some don't, some will, some won't, but we still try to fill them up with hope. I got some new family, we came together naturally, and actually our artistic endeavors capture these moments. So we do it for the painters and the poets, put my pain on the canvas like a stoic. You gotta move heroic, it's over before you know it. So I'm overdosing on the love emotion. My fam keeps me motivated, helps me stay focused. Eyes closed and my mind's open. Always in the zone, but I never go alone. Cause my family always with me right next to the throne. From December to December, through the summer we some winners. Keep it mixing like a blender, and my family getting bigger. From December to December, through the summer we some winners. Keep it mixing like a blender, and my family getting bigger. From December to December, through the summer we some winners. Keep it mixing like a blender, and my family getting bigger. Trap house is the name. We won't be faceless. We won't be nameless. I'll put you in my paintings, and I'ma make you famous. We won't be faceless. We won't be nameless. I'll put you in my paintings, and I'ma make you famous. Man, I'm lethal with an easel, and I'll make it look too easy. Share roll with petrol, blowing diesel, grab a brush and do it breezy. Squeeze some oils, make it greasy. Plus I do it for my people till we equal. Spread no evil, left home, but I made it back. Made my shit so black, very black, extra black. Black people getting looks, reading books at museums. Everybody seeing the true meaning. Now they understand art and education always been the master plan. Yeah, we got the juice. I'm living proof. I know the studio, my people beautiful, melanated molecules. Yeah, we got the juice. I'm living proof. I know the studio, my people beautiful, melanated molecules. I do it for the culture. Keep an eye out for them vultures. Spit my shit, halitosis. I do this shit with a passion. You just going through the motions. Keep their minds open for protection. Brainwashing, misdirection is the weapon. Let them know they blackness is a blessing. In my art, they see reflections of themselves, and that's the message. Left home, but I made it back. Made my shit so black, very black, extra black. We don't need your help. We didn't ask, you can just relax, you can just fall back. We won't be faceless, we won't be nameless. I'll put you in my paintings, and I'ma make you famous. We won't be faceless, we won't be nameless. I'll put you in my paintings, and I'ma make you famous. Yeah, we got the juice. I'm living proof. I know it's through you. I make you beautiful. Melanated molecules. Yeah, we got the juice. I'm living proof. I know it's through you. I make you beautiful. Melanated molecules.
Yeah, there ain't much more I can do after that. Right? You're gonna have to let it ride like that. You're gonna let it dry and do the steps. Get these edges.
Trap House Entertainment.
Hey, you know what?
Hate my job, but I hate my job, cause it takes my time. Rather be at home, rolling around home, smoking ramen on a high note. Run my own business online, you and I know. 9 to 5, part of the modern day grind. So working 2 at a time, just to make ends meet. Sandwich with the end piece, now you know you in deep. Hustle hard, grind deep, afterwards, after. In the studio is where you find me. I don't waste no time, no. Neither yours nor mine. I don't wanna be there. Ooh. 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 We just rats running a race, put us right back at the gate, make us slaves to the wage, then they tax us to the grave. If we fail to pay, lock us in a cage, throw the key away. What a big disgrace, a paycheck exchange for your dreams. Don't come complaining to me. We gotta work, we gotta eat, bills don't stop. Even when you sleep, stand your ground. Nigga, plant your feet, you get an apple tree from an apple seed. Unfold your leaves, then grow with me. Hopefully, you'll see you're worth the investment. So work on yourself. I don't wanna be there. Ooh.
All right, guys. While that dries, now I got two roller naps I need to wash out. So let me go do that, and we will be right back. Right? Yeah, let me go wash these out. Right back.
I give advice to the goons, give lectures to the scholars. That nice with the tool, and I let the rest follow. Up late with the moon, as I empty out a bottle. Gotta get a new model. About to paint me a nigga, make him look real regal. Put him in a museum. Yeah, nigga, you see him looking like a human being. Throughout the season, I paint with a reason, create with a purpose. Suck up on my nerve shit, peeking through my curtains. You got the wrong person. Y'all niggas lurking and tripping on some bird shit. In my eyes, your beauty is the prize, your blackness divine. Let me define. Black is a space that holds stars in the sky. On a lunar cycle, and we move with the tides. Rise, 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 rise. In my eyes, your beauty is the prize, your blackness divine. Let me define. Black is a space that holds stars in the sky. On a lunar cycle, and we move with the tides. Rise, 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 rise. Check my perception, check my perspective. Weak ass niggas can't escape my detection. Speaking to me reckless, must be got a death wish. I'm so connected, I can drown you in the desert. Use my discretion, you a bitch, I can tell. And my bars so hard, make you feel you in jail. Apply paint so thick, you can feel it like braille. Deep breath, inhale, pretty painting nightmares. Big steps, deep stairs, all eyes on me. Never said shit's fair. In the woods, give a damn if it's man or a bear. Tortoise in the hair, cause it's dog eat dog. It's a game of leapfrog. Black magic, black male. Black man, black ball. In my eyes, your beauty is the prize, your blackness divine. Let me define. Black is a space that holds stars in the sky. On a lunar cycle, let me move with the tides. Rise, 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 rise. In my eyes, your beauty is the prize, your blackness divine. Let me define. Black is a space that holds stars in the sky. On a lunar cycle, let me move with the tides. Rise, 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 rise. Gotta get a new model. About to paint me a nigga. Make him look real regal. Put him in a museum. Yeah, nigga, you see him. You see him looking like a human being. You see him looking like a human being. Art is my thing. If you tap into my stream, you see just what I mean when I'm on your TV screen. Don't mind me, cause my team on hobby in a live stream. We grinding and shining. We so fresh, like we dry clean. And that light green makes my eyes lean. I leave rising when my eyes bleed. Meditation, medication, light, inspiration. Now my thoughts are really racing. Grab a brush and now we paint. Paint slinging, rhyme saying beats banging. We do a studio session like each day. Go so hard when I'm creating. I should have been famous like East Bay. All in education, decades of dedication. The paintings are amazing and the rhymes are always flames. We always original, no need for imitation. We came from the basement, now look how far we made it. All in education, decades of dedication. The paintings are amazing and the rhymes are always flames. We always original, no need for imitation. We came from the basement, now look how far we made it. When you ain't motivated, just show some consistency. Every step gon' add up, look how far the distance be. It ain't no real mystery like Mr. Beast. Grinding hard and elbow grease, that's the key. Practice patience, passion, and persistence. That's principles for peace. Principles hold these. When your side goals promote peace, but still let them know you're holy. Paint slinging, rhyme saying beats banging. We do a studio session like each day. Go so hard when I'm creating. I should have been famous like East Bay. All in education, decades of dedication. The paintings are amazing and the rhymes are always flames. We are always original, no need for imitation. We came from the basement, now look how far we made it. All in education, decades of dedication. The paintings are amazing and the rhymes are always flames. We are always original, no need for imitation. We came from the basement, now look how far we made it. Napalm P, J Boozy, D1, shot man for 20. Blunt mover. Thanks for the many years of support. Art and education. House. Entertainment. When I can't sleep, I hit the studio and grab a brush. With an hour. Dopamine flood, activate my superpowers. I'm blowing sour, rolling weed up, got a mean buzz. Creation such a deep rush, keeps me baby with a deep touch. Ability gets sold, that's a deep cut. We must be the inspiration for the next generation. Seize each occasion, teach the nation. Feed the wisdom to the children of the village that we're raising. Foster their imagination, foster acceleration, circumvent incarceration of the body and the mind.
All right, guys, what'd you say about it? Hopefully, I can stencil this thing without fucking it up too bad. All right, get a good stencil without messing it up. Yo, the fucking CEO of McDonald's had to come out and make a statement saying the reason he only took such a little bite is because he just ate one right before. So he couldn't even resist. He said he couldn't resist waiting to get one, so he just ate it immediately. Okay, sir. I don't know why this is all on my feed so much now. I guess because I've been laughing at this shit, but yeah, every time I see a post, I laugh at it. All right, hit the laugh button. But now the McDonald's CEO has made another video, and he's taking a much bigger bite out of it this time to prove that he will eat a McDonald's burger. Whatever campaign stunt or ad he thought he was doing the first time, that shit backfired on his ass. Nobody, I bet they sales dropped so bad. I bet they sales dropped so bad since he did that shit. They told him, like, nigga, you better eat this shit on camera. We not selling no burgers, no McFlurries. It's like two posts back to back. So that's the one about McDonald's, and then scroll again, and there's another one about the McDonald's. Like, this shit is flooding my timeline right now. There's another one. Like, and a fucking another one. And it's another one back to back. Is that one and another one right behind it? McDonald's is trying to push this shit so bad. So they must have lost a lot of fuck. And another one. All right, I'm just gonna fucking close goddamn Facebook out. Goddamn. Nigga can't even scroll without seeing the McDonald's dude trying to reclaim his dignity. As a respectable businessman and CEO of a franchise, he's trying to reclaim his dignity. As all the other franchise CEOs clown the shit out of his ass. That's wow. Hard up, bro. Or they didn't invested so much money in this new campaign of him actually eating the burger. Bro, that shit was literally 7 or 8 posts. Boom, 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 boom. McDonald's CEO puts out a new video of him eating. He put out a statement claiming that he ate a burger, and he already ate an entire burger, and that's why he only took such a small bite on the video. And then like, they going hard. I didn't know there was so much damage control needed after this shit. I thought it was just the funny memes and shit that came with it, but nah, like McDonald's must be really fucked up. Because my buddy sent me this meme. Yo, damn that fell out. Hey, he sent me this shit at work. Damn that fell out my chair, bro. I was like, wait, what the fuck? Yo, clowning the shit out his ass. But then I don't want to be that dude either. I don't want to be either one of you guys in this picture. The internet is a horrible place. It's a horrible place. And I don't condone any of it. I'm here for it, though. I'm here for it. I'm not trying to add to none of the goddamn bullshit. I'm not trying to add to it, but I will sit back and enjoy it and watch it unfold. You know what I'm saying? Because that's wild, bro. Those memes like that, that's crazy. Mm. And you know somebody sent that to that dude. Like, bro, there's another one. I know he's just like, I'm tired of seeing all these, man. Well, you better do another video and eat the fucking burger this time. Just tell him I ate a burger beforehand. If you're filming a new set for your new sandwich and you want people to get, why didn't you just wait and to eat it on camera the first time? No, I couldn't wait. It smelled so delicious. Okay. And he kept calling it a product. This is our new product. Our new product. I love this product. Nobody who buys your products call it a product. It's a burger or a sandwich. So weird for him to even say this. And he never called it a burger, not once. I don't know if that's some legal shit that he can't call it a burger, or that he's so corporate and doesn't eat that shit that he doesn't identify it as a burger. I love seeing the product numbers on paper. Complete robot. Hello? Yes? Suck my dick. Sometimes I answer local numbers. They're like from in the area, just because I give out my business card a lot, and I don't know. So that was a local number. I don't know who the fuck it was. I just answered it. It's not saved in my phone. Hello, Travis? Yeah. Do you still currently own the property? Man, suck my dick. I'm out of here. Wow. All these motherfucking property management firms want to goddamn buy this house so fucking bad, bro. And normally them shit used to come from like New York, Virginia, like all kind of weird states, but now it's like it's local numbers calling my phone. Do you want to sell your property? No, I don't. No, I don't. They got me on that one. I thought it was like, I don't know. I don't know who I thought it was. But now I'm letting every number not saved in my phone. You going straight to fucking voicemail. I'm not answering none of that shit. Leave a message. I probably eat a beluga whale caviar. It's the biggest caviar you can find.
Robinhood Gold earned 3.35%.
I thought this was the good charger I changed
high
out.
yield cash.
No?
Cosby is on the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City.
Mary being married to her step-grandfather was the only thing that people...
Are you somewhat troubled by everything that's going on at the moment with AI and how it's progressing? Because you strike me as someone that's somewhat troubled under the surface by the way things are moving forward and the speed in which they're moving forward.
Understatement. I'm appalled, actually, by the lack of attention to safety. I mean, imagine if someone's building a nuclear power station in your neighborhood, and you go along to the chief engineer and you say, okay, these nuclear, I've heard that they can actually explode, right? There was this nuclear explosion that happened in Hiroshima. So I'm a bit worried about this. What steps are you taking to make sure that we don't have a nuclear explosion in our back?
Hello, this is the CEO of McDonald's, and I just wanted to let you know that we have a special going on in your area. You can get buy one, get one free sandwiches today only. I'll give you a code right to your phone. You text yes in response. Hi, this is the CEO of Mickey D's. Nigga, I'm not eating that shit. I'm telling like I told that motherfucker just now. Something I did. Click. I'm not about to eat that shit. This motherfucker, they cold calling people. Everybody get on the lines right now. Send out alert to everybody who has the McDonald's app. Buy one, get one free. Motherfucker gotta get a sandwich away now. That burger look tiny as hell. He can't even take a bite out of a tiny burger. He's like, this is so massive. I don't know how to attack this thing. That's delicious. But you can't even. You ate mostly bun, nigga. That was mostly bun and lettuce. You ain't ate that horse meat. You know you didn't. Delicious. Motherfucker crazy. All right, let's get some shit going. Trying to get some shit started. Yeah. Where's the camcorder? Let's see if we can I got pros to cut my tongue. That shit's so strong, it started pulling the dough in. This way. Oh. There.
that broke. I think I just broke that shit. All right. Good.
And the chief engineer says, well, we thought about it. We don't really have an answer.
Yeah.
What would you say? I think you would use some expletives.
Well,
and you'd call your MP and say, get these people out. I mean, what are they doing?
About to
You read out the list of
what the hell?
projected dates for AGI, but notice also that those people I mentioned, Dara Amadei says a 25% chance of extinction. Elon Musk has a 30% chance of extinction. Sam Altman says basically that AGI is the biggest risk of human existence. So what are they doing? They are playing Russian roulette with every human being on Earth without our permission. They're coming into our houses, putting a gun to the head of our children, pulling the trigger. And, well, everyone will die. Oops. But possibly we'll get incredibly rich. That's what they're doing. Did they ask us? No. Why is the government allowing them to do this? Because they dangle $50 billion checks in front of the governments. So I think troubled under the surface is an understatement.
What would be an accurate statement?
Appalled. And I am devoting my life to trying to divert from this course of history into a different one.
Two words. First word, social. Second word, media.
Do you have any regrets about things you could have done in the past? Because you've been so influential on the subject of AI. You wrote the textbook that many of these people would have studied on the subject of AI more than 30 years ago. Do you have, when you're alone at night and you think about decisions you've made in this field because of your scope of influence, is there anything you regret?
Well, I do wish I had understood earlier what I understand now. We could have developed safe AI systems. I think there are some weaknesses in the framework, which I can explain, but I think that framework could have evolved actually safe AI systems where we could prove mathematically that the system is going to act in our interest. The kind of AI systems we're building now don't understand how they work.
We don't understand how they work. It's a strange thing to build something where you don't understand how it works. I mean, there's no sort of comparable through human history. Usually with machines, you can pull it apart and see what cogs are doing what and how to
Well,
do
actually, we put the cogs together, right? So with most machines, we designed it to have a certain behavior. So we don't need to pull it apart and see what the cogs are because we put the cogs in there in the first place, right? One by one, we figured out what the pieces needed to be, how they work together to produce the effect that we want. So the best analogy I can come up with is the first cave person who left a bowl of fruit in the sun and forgot about it, and then came back a few weeks later, and there was sort of this big soupy thing, and they drank it, and it got completely shit-faced.
They got drunk. Okay.
And they got this effect. They had no idea how it worked, but they were very happy about it. And no doubt that person made a lot of money from it. So yeah, it is kind of bizarre, but my mental picture of these things is like a chain link fence, right? So you've got lots of these connections. Each of those connections its connection strength can be adjusted. And then, a signal comes in one end of this chain link fence and passes through all these connections and comes out the other end. And the signal that comes out the other end is affected by your adjusting of all the connection strengths. So what you do is you get a whole lot of training data and you adjust all those connection strengths so that the signal that comes out the other end of the network is the right answer to the question. So if your training data is to photographs of animals, then all those pixels go in one end of the network, and out the other end, it activates the llama output or the dog output or the cat output or the ostrich output. And so you just keep adjusting all the connection strengths in this network until the outputs of the network are the ones you want.
But we don't really know what's going on across all of those different chains.
So what's going on inside that network? Well, so now you have to imagine that this network, this chain link fence, is 1,000 square miles in extent.
Okay.
So it's covering the whole of the San Francisco Bay Area or the whole of London inside the M25, right? That's how big it is.
And the lights are off. It's nighttime.
So you might have in that network about 1 trillion adjustable parameters, and then you do quintillions or sextillions of small random adjustments to those parameters until you get the behavior that you want.
I've heard Sam Altman say that in the future, he doesn't believe they'll need much training data at all to make these models progress themselves, because there comes a point where the models are so smart that they can train themselves and improve themselves. Us needing to pump in articles and books and scour the internet.
Yeah, it should work that way. So I think what he's referring to, and this is something that
Recursive.
several companies are now worried might start happening, is that the AI system becomes capable of doing AI research by itself. And so you have a system with a certain capability. I mean, crudely, we could call it an IQ, but it's not really an IQ. But anyway, imagine that it's got an IQ of 150. It uses that to do AI research, comes up with better algorithms or better designs for hardware or better ways to use the data, updates itself. Now it has an IQ of 170. And now it does more AI research, except that now it's got an IQ of 170. So it's even better at doing the AI research. And so, next iteration is 250 and so on. So this is an idea that one of Alan Turing's friends, I.J. Good, wrote out in 1965 called the intelligence explosion, right? That one of the things an intelligence system could do is research and therefore make itself more intelligent, and this would very rapidly take off, leave the humans far behind.
Is that what they call the fast takeoff?
That's called the fast takeoff.
Sam Altman said, I think a fast takeoff is more possible than I thought a couple of years ago, which I guess is that moment where the AGI starts teaching itself. In his blog, The Gentle Singularity, he said, we may already be past the event horizon of takeoff. What does he mean by event horizon?
The event horizon is a phrase borrowed from astrophysics, and it refers to the black hole.
You can't see it
And
over the edge of
The
the
event
black hole.
horizon, think if you've got some very, very massive object that's heavy enough that it actually prevents light from escaping. That's why it's called the black hole. It's so heavy that light can't escape. So if you're inside the event horizon, then light can't escape beyond that. So I think what he's meaning is if we're beyond the event horizon, it means that now we're just trapped in the gravitational attraction of the black hole, or in this case, we're trapped in the inevitable slide, if you want, towards AGI. When you think about the economic value of AGI, which I've estimated at $15 quadrillion, that acts as a giant magnet in the future.
We're being pulled towards
We're
it.
being pulled towards it, and the closer we get, the stronger the force. The probability, the closer we get, the higher the probability that we will actually get there. So people are more willing to invest. And we also start to see spin-offs from that investment, such as ChatGPT, right? Which is, generates a certain amount of revenue and so on. So it does act as a magnet. And the closer we get, the harder it is to pull out of that field.
It's interesting when you think that this could be the end of the human story, this idea that the end of the human story was that we created our successor. Like we summoned our next iteration of life or intelligence ourselves. Like we took ourselves out. Quite like just removing ourselves and the catastrophe from it for a second. It is an unbelievable story.
Characters and so much more in Disney Solitaire. Free to play, endless fun, download now.
The 8% of e-commerce founders are burning money on ads because they have no idea that their Meta Ads pixel is broken. Go to Meta Ads Manager and compare your reported conversions to your actual store orders. If they don't match, then there's a problem. But here's the thing, 99% of the time, your pixel is actually working correctly. It's the privacy restrictions and ad blockers that are blocking accurate conversion data to your pixel. This means your pixel will optimize blindly, showing your ads to the wrong audience and dumping your ROAS. So to get around this, WeTrack.io provides the proper infrastructure to feed your pixel first-party data, bypassing all the blockers. And after installing my campaign's ROAS went from this to this. WeTrack.io has already helped over 7,000 top brands with your tracking, and you can try today free for 14 days. If your ROAS doesn't increase by at least 20%, you get all your money back guaranteed.
There are the legends, the sort of be careful what you wish for legend. And in fact, the King Midas legend is very relevant here.
What's that?
So King Midas is this legendary king who lived in modern day Turkey, but I think it's sort of like Greek mythology. He is said to have asked the gods to grant him a wish being that everything I touch should turn to gold. So he's incredibly greedy. We call this the Midas touch. And we think of the Midas touch as being like, that's a good thing, right? Wouldn't that be cool? But what happens? So he goes to drink some water and he finds that the water has turned to gold. And he goes to eat an apple and the apple turns to gold. And he goes to, comfort his daughter and his daughter turns to gold. And so he dies in misery and starvation. So this applies to our current situation in two ways, actually. So one is that I think greed is driving us to pursue technology that will end up consuming us. And we will perhaps die in misery and starvation instead. But what it shows is how difficult it is to correctly articulate what you want the future to be like. for a long time, the way we built AI systems was we created these algorithms where we could specify the objective and then the machine would figure out how to achieve the objective and then achieve it. So, we specify what it means to win at chess or to win at Go. And the algorithm figures out how to do it, and it does it really well. So that was, standard AI up until recently. And it suffers from this drawback that, sure, we know how to specify the objective in chess, but how do you specify the objective in life? Do we want the future to be like? Well, really hard to say. And almost any attempt to write it down precisely enough for the machine to bring it about would be wrong. And if you're giving a machine an objective which isn't aligned with what we truly want the future to be like, right? You're actually setting up a chess match. And that match is one that you're going to lose when the machine is sufficiently intelligent. And so that's problem number one. Problem number two is that the kind of technology we're building now know what its objectives are. So it's not that we're specifying the objectives, but we're getting them wrong. We're growing these systems, they have objectives, but we don't even know what they are because we didn't specify them. What we're finding through experiment with them is that they seem to have an extremely strong self-preservation objective.
What do you mean by that?
You can put them in hypothetical situations. Either they're going to get switched off and replaced, or they have to allow someone, let's say, someone has been locked in a machine room that's kept at 3 centigrade, so they're going to freeze to death. They will choose to leave that guy locked in the machine room and die rather than be switched off themselves.
Someone's done that test.
Yeah.
What was the test? They asked the AI.
Yep, they put them in these hypothetical situations and they allow the AI to decide what to do, and it decides to preserve its own existence, let the guy die, and then lie about it.
In the King Midas analogy story, one of the things that highlights for me is that there's always trade-offs in life generally. And it's, especially when there's great upside, there always appears to be a really great downside. Like there's almost nothing in my life where I go, it's all upside. Like having a dog that shits on my carpet. My girlfriend, love her. But, not always easy. Even with going to the gym, I have to pick up these really, really heavy weights at 10 p.m. at night sometimes. You don't feel like it. There's always, to get them off your really six-pack, there's always a trade-off. And when you interview people for every like I do, you hear about so many incredible things that can help you in so many ways. But there's always a trade-off. There's always a way to overdo it. Melatonin will help you sleep, but also you'll wake up groggy, and if you overdo it, your brain might stop making melatonin. Like I can go through the entire list, and one of the things I've always come to learn from doing this podcast is whenever someone promises me a huge upside for something, it'll cancel, it'll be a utopia, you'll never have to work, you'll have a butler around your house. My first instinct now is to say, at what cost?
Yeah.
And when I think about the economic cost here, if we start there,
it's like 40 kids.
How old is the youngest kid? 19, okay. So if you'll say your kids are 10 now, and they'll come to you and say, "Dad, what do you think I should study based on the way that you see the future?" AGI. So if all these CEOs are right and predicting AGI within 5 years, what should I study, Dad?
Well, okay, so let's look on the bright side and say that the CEOs all decide to pause their AGI development, figure out how to make it safe, and then we see whatever technology talk is actually going to be safe. What does that do to human life?
They pause.
No, if they succeed in creating AGI and they solve the safety problem.
And they solve the safety problem. So
yeah, because if they don't solve the safety problem, then you should probably be finding a bunker or no, because it's not actually going to happen. It's not as if the AI system couldn't find you before. It's interesting. So we're going off on a little bit of a digression from your question. I'll come back to it. So people often ask, well, okay, so how exactly do we go extinct? And of course, if you ask the gorillas or the dodos, how exactly do you think you're going to go extinct? Faintest thing. Let's do something and then we're all dead. So the only things we can imagine are the things we know how to do that might bring about an extinction. Like creating some carefully engineered pathogen that infects everybody and then kills us, or starting a nuclear war. Presumably, something that's much more intelligent than us would have much greater control over physics than we do. We already do amazing things. I mean, it's amazing that I can take a little rectangular thing out of my pocket and talk to someone on the other side of the world, and someone in space. It's just, and we can take it for granted. Right? But imagine, super intelligent beings and their ability to control physics. Perhaps they will find a way to just divert the sun's energy around, sort of go around the Earth's orbit. So, literally the Earth turns into a snowball in a few days.
Maybe they'll just decide to leave. Like, leave the Earth. Maybe they'll look at the Earth and go, this is not interesting. We know that over there's an even more interesting planet. We're going to go over there, and they just, I don't know, get on a rocket or...
They might, yeah. So it's difficult to anticipate all the ways that one might go extinct at the hands of entities much more intelligent than themselves.
I've noticed profound differences from taking things that increase nitric oxide. We have never been able to block PT1 before.
We have something in our body that the endothelial cells produce, which is a vasoconstrictor, and that's called ET1.
Anyway, coming back to the question, well, if everything goes right, we create AGI, we figure out how to make it safe, we achieve all these economic miracles, then you face a problem. And this is not a new problem. Right? So John Maynard Keynes, who was a famous economist in the early part of the 20th century, wrote a paper in 1930. So this is in the depths of the Depression. It's called On the Economic.
Are you hopeful that anything can be done to slow down the pace of acceleration of AI?
Okay, there's two issues. One is, can you slow it down? And the other is, can you make it?
As it is winding down, there's some insane AI. There's performance stages in Cloud 4 gets into the good facing pretty sure we've never seen it before. No Brown saying this about the progress we see no ball. I think that it's very good at economically valuable tasks. And unfortunately, Anthropic has been officially over the supply chain risk. The thing that I think we all were hoping wouldn't happen, that it would come to this, it did happen, it's official, and Anthropic is saying they are going to challenge it. The good news, or some silver lining, if you will, is that this applies only to the use of cloud by customers as a direct part of contracts with the Department of War. Not all use of cloud by customers who have such contracts. The department's letter has a narrow scope, and the statute is narrow as well. So I'm very happy to hear that. That means this won't be a massive profit, but it's going to be challenging, and it's kind of still sucks that we're here because they are now back in negotiations with the government. And I don't know, I kind of was hoping that things were getting one thing that really stands out to me about this new piece of GPT 5.4. There's a couple of really good. The first one that I noticed was really interesting is it has to do a jump on GPT Val. GPT Val takes people that have a lot of experience in some particular industry, and those experts are really great to find those projects that work in that industry that experts in that industry do. So, for example, for a manufacturing engineer, here's the prompt and the task concept and an experienced human deliverable. So this is if you're an experienced human, this is a kind of an example of what kind of work you would submit to your boss if you ask them to do this project. If you're an order clerk, there's a sort of a project for you, and this is for an experienced human with a deliverable. Or for a producer, this is what that particular deliverable look like. We're going to dive too deep into it. Basically, we're split testing to see who can do better, a human or one of the AI models. And for a while after its release, the LLM models were not as good as humans. So if you see this line is parity with industry experts, that's humans. This is kind of what requires this win. There's going to be win rates or win rate plus tie rate by different models. Again, this was one of the first releases of this benchmark. But since then, it has been steadily improving. And now, GPT 5.4 Pro and 5.4 are ranking very high on that particular benchmark. So GPT 5.4 Pro is 82%, meaning a human expert delivers a job, and a GPT 5.4 Pro delivers at the job, and you look at that design by these experts in the field, and it's actually 14 years of experience in that these companies like Google, Fargo, America, and now these new models, they're getting 82% or 83% rate of winning versus human and or time. Right? So 80% either wins or ties with human number. And just the win rate is right around 70%. So 70% of the time it just wins. It's judged to be better than human expert work. So we can see how this sort of impacts actual jobs out there. But this automation replace actual people action.
I want to make some cookies, but to be frank, I don't know how. I don't even know the break-ins. Thankfully, my Windows 11 Copilot Plus PC can help with Copilot.
Jobs. By the way, today's a big day. Today, Anthropic also published the labor market impacts of AI in New Measure and Early Evidence. So we're going to do a video of this because this is a very interesting topic to watch. But kind of the big headline is, while there's not really a big impact that we're seeing today, or at least there's no major impact yet, we are seeing lessons hiring in those kind of early migration people are sort of careers straight out of college and first years and just building skills and entering the workforce. We are seeing that area targeted and the job really slowing down for those particular individuals. And this is more or less the same thing as the standard people who covered, kind of finding the same things, standard paper used, logging product data for the research, so it really kind of makes sense. But the big thing that they're realizing is that currently, the workplace automation that we have is a tiny percentage of what's actually possible. And then, of course, we have this is for HTC 5.4, it has computer use in vision. But interestingly, this model is the first general purpose model with native computer use abilities and marks a major step for developers and agents as well. So you can build agents and do tasks across websites and software systems. I'm sure you exactly what that looks like in a second. Somebody already built something pretty cool using this. So it's excellent at writing code to operate computers via libraries like Playwright, as well as issuing mouse and command in response to screenshots of Playwright with simple browser automation. So it can enable the agent to do various stuff on the web. Playwright is one of the things you mentioned. Here's the thing that should stand out to you with a sore thumb. So OS World Verify. So this is where we measure the vulnerability to navigate the environment. Screenshots and your mouse actions, etc. 5.4 achieves a state-of-the-art 75% success rate, and they also do some comparisons like was that 75% good, yes, state-of-the-art, that's better than it, but how good is that? So 5.2 was at 47, so big leap. It also surpassed human performance, which is at 72.4. That is kind of wild, isn't it? So at this point, it's navigating desktops, the screenshots, and the mouse commands better than humans. This was kind of one of the weakest points for these models for a long time. So one interesting thing is that this can be used for troubleshooting various visual applications like games. Right? So this thing can do the game, then use it to found the computer vision abilities to see if the game plays okay, if there's any graphical issues, any click on the buttons, etc., etc., etc. And apparently people are already disagreeing this and saying this. It is indeed working. Corey Keen is saying that you built a tactical turn-based RPG with Codex and GPT 5.4 using Playwright for testing and image champion visuals. It says, I grew up loving turn-based RPGs, so this was really fun to build. Usually 45-second demo below. So we talked about this day for quite some time. When will these models be able to actually look at the visual outputs of the code, video games, websites, etc., and link them to graphic images continuously and improve on them? I don't know how many times, this was some time ago, but I can't even tell you, I can't even count how many times I typed into Claude or ChatGPT or something like that. It's just a blank screen, especially if like you're doing the graphics and you're trying to display it in a browser like 3JS. Very often they're like, okay, your racing video game is done. Open it in your browser. Where do you open it? It's just a black screen. You tell it it's just a black screen. It goes, oh, you're absolutely right. What was it? Oh, I found a glitch. I forgot something. It's fixed. Try opening it in your browser. When you open it, it's a blank black screen. You type in, it's still just a black screen. You've seen me testing these models. You've seen this happen actually if you've been watching this channel. That's a small fraction of the amount of times that I've actually had to do that. Today, if the legends are true, today's the first day of the new era. An era where we no longer have to tell our chatbots that it's just a black screen for the 5th time. inside, it's just there's nothing there. Also, looks like OpenAI is taking a few pages out of the Grok playbook. Looks like they're able to support skills, and they're also helping these skills that you're able to migrate from and from.
Let me try for a second or two.
Very own ChatGPT.
It's really wet right now.
So skills, using forms for
Let's
Excel,
let that step and try for a second.
transferring over from Anthropic, so the things that Anthropic did very well is being transferred over to replicate on the OpenAI side. But that's not it, because as OpenAI is this model, it's also releasing a suite of financial service tools. This is similar to what Anthropic's been doing. They've been releasing a number of new skills, tools that help Claude do stuff in fields like the legal field, cybersecurity, and many ones that they have financial ones. So OpenAI, as of today, is doing this as well. So interestingly here, this seems to be focusing on the finance financial industry as the next big target. We're going to say here that Microsoft Engineering Finance will see the benefits of the model improvements more acutely than any other field. This is from Ryan Brewer, who's building finance things at OpenAI. There's actually quite a bit of other things, like there's some priority mode, so if you need your answers faster, there's a way to tackle this, like priority stream. Is it possible it's running on Cerebras chips? I haven't seen a confirmation of that yet, but this seems to be kind of a fast limit that's added now. Also, you can interrupt in the model in its stream to guide it to its follow directions. You can change the course of what's going. It seems like OpenAI has a sort of an internal investment banking benchmark in this release, which is 5.4. Thinking is the top scoring one, so it's at 87%, 4.873, with one being the top, one being the best. So we'll call it 87%. The 5.2 Pro is at 70%, and they also have Focus 4.6 listed at about 64%. And this benchmark measures real world finance workloads that often take analysts hours or days to complete, like financial modeling, scenario analysis, data extraction, and long form research. So with finance, it's going to Excel, and it's got that computer code system. And finally, we also have an employee researcher at OpenAI now, OpenAI, and joining at Rock. The name is Max Schwarzer, the common figure here. For example, GPT-5, the thing we're discussing here, he loved to help you create the reasoning paradigm and the skin of this computer with a polynomial that's sitting on the ground. And the really huge part of it actually shipping the order one create the very first reasoning model with all our hands on. He's taking this OpenAI, including Sam Altman. As you can tell, no drama here. He's not throwing the shade at David, but he's saying that some of the people he trusts and respects most have joined the profit over the last couple of years in those are kind of the main views, but that's just scratching the surface of what happened today. OpenAI publishes a new research on achieving prompt controllability. So we'll probably be looking at that in a separate video. And of course, in that's for 8 hours. We also had Gemini 3.1 Flash Lights and a NKA released by Google. Grok 420 is releasing kind of beta 2. So I'm off to test this new model, GPT 5.4. I gotta say, I'm pretty excited. This definitely feels like a pretty big deal. Especially when I want to test out the computer vision, computer use model, because like models, they fit this need to be part of this industry. So I give my hand on it. As you know, I have my AI agents constantly building and improving the site natural20.com. That's natural20.com. It's a news aggregator. You can also have all of the AI benchmarks of the live. Well, actually not just right this second, just as I was looking through this video, I noticed that all of my AI agents they all just crashed. They're non-responsive. I'm not gonna lie, I'm very go running on the Plato low off thing. So I sure hope you probably can just overplug on me. Although I guess this is the worst thing for that to happen. But if I'm able to get it back online, I do have this demo section where I'm building out some cool things, including with new model releases. I'll try to have a few projects that are built by that model. So sometime within hopefully next 24 hours, I'll have the GPT 5.4 section here with some pretty cool things that's going to be able to not released during the Pro demo. So the Starlink satellite tracker, I think it's pretty cool. So you can see the time all of these Starlink satellites related to space here to click on them, see which ones they are, altitude, velocity, latitude, longitude. And if you're mobile, if you share your location, you have to see where you are on the map. Also my target for drones out there to find you wherever you are. Totally kidding, probably. But let me know what you think about this experiment and figure it out. So stick around, see you tomorrow. I gotta go resuscitate my needs. I think we've been down for maybe close to an hour. And this is just not how I want to go about doing the work that can be automated, doing it myself. Animal, this is not okay. Look, robots do it. Use what's possible. See you in the next week.
This is Jack. He's an entrepreneur, and he wants to set up a professional website so his customers can find him online. A website he can easily maintain and cost. But let's just call that no technical knowledge and no web design. Luckily, he's recently learned about Webador. With Webador, anyone can build a free professional website in just a few easy steps. Sign up. Choose from one of the many responsive templates we offer. Edit colors to match your art style, and play around with our user-friendly drag and drop system. Images, text, videos, buttons, everything you need. From a standard website or blog to an online store with integrated payment methods. Whether it's for business or just for fun, you can build your dream website in a matter of hours. You can publish your website on your own domain. We'll make sure your website is automatically fully optimized for all search engines and mobile devices. Need help? We offer good support, and our team is happy to answer any questions you may have. Well, Jack's customer can now find him online. He takes himself a lot of energy, and he can maintain his own website. And when having with satisfied customers, start building your own website now.
Save time creating content, remember the high quality tone of your voice with 11 times. Choose the way you record podcasts, voiceovers, and branded content for the #1 AI-powered voice generation technology. Stop searching for the perfect voice and stop wasting time re-recording take after take. Try 11 Labs for free and start elevating your content today.
If you're worried about immigration taking jobs, you should be way more worried about it because it's like a flood of millions of new digital immigrants that are Nobel Prize level capability, work at superhuman speed, and will work for less than minimum wage. I mean, we're heading for so much transformative change faster than our society is currently prepared to do. There's a different conversation happening AI companies having about which world we're heading to, which is a future that people don't want. But we didn't consent to have 6 people make that decision on behalf of 8 billion.
Tristan Harris is one of the world's most influential technology ethicists.
Who created the Center for Humane Technology after correctly predicting the dangers social media would have on our society.
And now he's warning us about the catastrophic.
The book is here. Be quiet. You pass a bomb. Sorry, you're laughing.
Yeah, I do. They violated it, but Israel violated it too. Israel, as soon as we made the deal, they came out and they dropped a load of bombs, the likes of which I've never seen before. The biggest load that we've seen. I'm not happy with Israel. You know, when I say, okay, now you have 12 hours, you don't go out in the first hour and just drop everything you have on it. So I'm not happy with them. I'm not happy with Iran either. But I'm really unhappy if Israel's going out this morning because the one rocket that didn't land, that was shot, perhaps by mistake, that didn't land, I'm not happy about that. You know what? They basically have two countries that have been fighting so long and so hard that they don't know what the fuck they're doing. You understand that? You understand that? You understand that?
When it comes to processing payroll, the stressful hours of tedious work become a thing of the past, as Toast Payroll simplifies everything in 3 easy steps. First, you'll be taken through a preview step that shows a summary of your payroll for a given time period. You'll see that tricky calculations like tip makeup, overtime across locations and job types, and break pay have already been done for you. All the timesheet data will already be pulled over for you automatically. Next, you'll be taken to the employee step, where you can make any necessary adjustments for any employee. Let's say you want to give Monica a bonus for the double she worked last weekend. Great. A couple of clicks, and you're done. All adjustments are reflected in the system, so you can make changes with the confidence that your employees are getting paid the right amount. The third and final step is where you can preview payroll for the current pay period. You'll see an employee summary with total employee count and hours paid, an accounting summary for total pay and payroll taxes, and alerts for areas that may need a final check before posting. When you're ready, click Post, and Toast Payroll will handle it from there.
Conducted this operation with a very clear goal in mind. I haven't got a chance to see a lot of reporting. I don't understand what the confusion is. Let me explain it to you, and I'll do it once again as clearly as possible. Perhaps you'll report it that way. The United States is conducting an operation to eliminate the threat of Iran's short-range ballistic missiles and the threat posed by their Navy, particularly to naval assets. That is what it is focused on doing right now, and it's doing quite successfully. I'll leave it to the Pentagon and the Department of War to discuss the tactics behind that and the progress that's being made. That is the clear objective of this mission. The second question that's been asked is, why now? Well, there's 2 reasons why now. The first is it was abundantly clear that if Iran came under attack by anyone, the United States or Israel or anyone, they were going to respond against the United States. The orders had been delegated down to the field commanders. It was automatic, and in fact, it appeared to be true because, in fact, within an hour of the initial attack on the leadership compound, the missile forces in the south and in the north, for that matter, had already been activated to launch. In fact, those had already been pre-positioned. The third is the assessment that was made that if we stood and waited for that attack to come first before we hit them, we would suffer much higher casualties. And so the president made the very wise decision. We knew that there was going to be an Israeli action. We knew that that would precipitate an attack against American forces. And we knew that if we didn't preemptively go after them before they launched those attacks, we would suffer higher casualties and perhaps even higher than those killed. And then we would all be here answering questions about why we knew that indeed.
Yesterday, you told us that Israel was going to strike Iran, and that's why we needed to get involved. Today, the president said that Iran was going to get.
Yeah, your statement is false. So that's not what I was asked very specifically. Were you there yesterday?
Yes, I answered the question.
Were you the one that? Because somebody asked me a question yesterday. Did we go in because of Israel? And I said, you were asking me, are you from the follow? And I said, no. I told you this had to happen anyway.
Yesterday, you told us that Israel was going to strike Iran, and that's why we needed to get involved. Today, the president said that Iran was going to get.
Yeah, your statement is false. So that's not what I was asked very specifically. Were wise decision. We knew that there was going to be an Israeli action. We knew that there was going to be an Israeli action. We knew that there was going to be an Israeli action. We knew that that was anticipating an attack against American forces. And we knew that if we didn't preemptively go after them before they launched those attacks, we would suffer higher casualties and perhaps even higher those killed. And then
Yesterday, you told us that Israel was going to strike Iran, and that's why we needed to get involved. Today, the president said that Iran was going to get involved.
yeah, your statement is false. Your statement is false.
I said, Mike, that we are fighting today the battle that the Maccabees fought. They fought for the survival of the Jewish people and the Jewish faith against the enemy that wanted to extinguish us, wipe us out from the face of the earth. We were fighting our battle, but we were also fighting the battle of civilization, because our civilization is based on the Judeo-Christian tradition. And if the Maccabees had failed, there'd be no Judaism, there would be no Judeo-Christian civilization, there would be no Maccabees, there would be no United States, there wouldn't be the civilization of freedom, the respect for our common traditions, our common values. All of that would not happen if it weren't for those 5 brave brothers. They actually made the whole difference. So that spirit animates these brave soldiers that are here today, and their comrades who are fighting in Gaza or in Lebanon or in Iran, whatever is necessary to not only preserve the Jewish nation and the Jewish state, but preserve civilization against the barbarians. The barbarians are out there. They did a horrible thing to us on the 27th. They'll never do it again. They'll never do it again.
So after 20 years of service in the military, yesterday I got pulled into an officer's office and counseled for posts that I have on my social media. During the counseling, they told me I'm under investigation as a threat to national security. When I asked for proof, like what the posts were yesterday, they refused to give it to me. They made me come back today to further go over stuff. They gave me proof, and the proof they gave me are anti-Israel posts. Now, when I joined the military, I took an allegiance to support the United States of America. I did not ever take an allegiance to support Israel. But yet, I am deemed a threat to national security because I do not support Israel and their genocide against the Palestinian people. Yes, you heard that right. I am deemed a threat to national security because I don't support Israel's genocide against the Palestinian people. Since then, is not supporting a foreign nation the U.S. soldier investigated for being a threat to national security.
Bottom line is that I've confirmed that Israel is basically in control of our foreign policy by our own posture to be allied with them, and that is uncontrovertible. Because now they're trying to damage Israel. Oh no, Trump gave the order. No, our very doctrine is that Israel's attack, we attack. And so thank God Russia is not following Israel with Iran or China, or we need a war with them right now. So it is a fact. And then the neocons, the Israel lobbies, all over there that Netanyahu points this out and tries to say it's not the case. Well, Netanyahu brags about it. So, I mean, that's the big news. Not even defending Trump, it actually makes him worse.
that it is now literally true. I wanted to claim wasn't true because I don't want to believe it. That Trump is an errand boy of Israel. And how do we deal with that, Nick Poindexter?
Well, if Trump is an errand boy for Israel, then you got to shut down his government. And that means you got to go into the midterms and you got to get the Democrats in. And the Democrats hopefully will impede the administration. That's what they're going to do. They're going to launch investigations, subpoenas, select committee, all that kind of stuff. And they're going to grind it to a halt. And, if Trump is an operative of a foreign government, consider that he's forfeited his entire mandate. Because his whole basis of support is that he's America first, MAGA. He's not like the other politicians. Okay, well, if you're an errand boy for Israel, if you're a puppet of the Jewish state and you're bringing us to war, for them, that's not like a small thing. That's not like a little bit of foreign aid. We're going to war on their behalf. He has to be opposed. And a lot of people don't want to take it there for one reason or another. But, I don't know what the option is. I don't know how you work with that. If you're America first and Trump is Israel first, well, that's not exactly a divide that can be bridged.
I'm pretty sure this is going to get stepped on any platform I put it on. But that doesn't mean that you don't need to say something. You've probably seen headlines right now of 3 U.S. service members killed, 5 wounded, a number of others who were hit but have been returned to duty. And I want to take you into their minds, maybe, the 3 U.S. service members who are no longer with us. When you went out, you knew that the region is semi-volatile, right? But you're out there, and a few days ago, you're watching negotiations happen, and things look positive. The U.S. says it's positive. Iran says it's positive. Things are going okay. And you talk your schedule for next week. 2 days later, you're dead because Donald Trump and Benjamin Netanyahu decided they were going to sacrifice you for their own benefit. It wasn't because there was some magical intercontinental ballistic missile that Iran had. They didn't. They did it. And our own intel proves that. Allied intel proves that. It wasn't because they were getting ready to have a nuclear weapon. They weren't. Donald Trump even said in June it was completely obliterated and gone. It wasn't because there was some preemptive attack that Iran was going to suddenly do in the middle of negotiations, positive negotiations. They were just going to throw it out to the wind and start attacking. So none of that bullshit. It's because Netanyahu paid Donald Trump to sacrifice those lives and to take out some leaders of that regime. There's plenty of leaders left. We've already named new ones because he is trying to keep a war going so he doesn't get tried for corruption and genocide because he's responsible for the deaths of 70,000 humans, if not many more. And Donald Trump is all on board with this because he will get the massive benefit of access to more money from Saudi Arabia and the UAE, which are throwing in jets and contracts.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Starting a Business is Never Easy. So many arrows that endeavor is without a whole lot of create a website that looks like you know what you're doing, even if you don't know what you're doing. Because you're using a website to develop a tool that knows exactly what it's doing. It helps you design a logo. This is what we came up with. We put it here, we put it everywhere on our website, and we even put it right here.
What I'm telling you, from one central man, central, you can have all of your social media empire operating. You're doing it all. Everything. Let's go, Danny!
Just a little earlier, I got out of the administration's briefing to the Senate about the situation in Iran. And what you hear behind closed doors is essentially what we're hearing in the public domain, which is complete incoherence. No explanation for why Donald Trump broke his promise to the country when he said he wasn't going to drag us into additional wars, and constantly shifting narratives about what this is all about, right? Even today in the Oval Office, the president was spinning all sorts of rationales. On the one hand, they say it's to go after Iran's nuclear program. We know Iran has no nuclear weapons capability. After all, the president told the country that it had been decimated last year. So then they say, well, we're going to go after Iran's ballistic missiles. Well, Iran has no ballistic missiles that can get anywhere close to the United States. Zero. And of course, then Donald Trump said he was going to liberate the people of Iran. But if you look at public reporting about the CIA's assessment, it says that they concluded that if you get rid of the Iranian leadership, you're very likely to get a much more, even more radical group in their place. But we do know from Secretary Rubio that Netanyahu decided to strike Iran. And so here we are, doing what Prime Minister Netanyahu said he wanted to do for 40 years, which was to attack Iran. It's just Netanyahu had not found a president stupid enough to drag the United States into that war before. And now Donald Trump has done it. And they don't have a clue as to what the end game is.
In that America wants a regime change in Iran is because Bibi Netanyahu is demanding it. And we also are completely done with the idea that this decades-long idea that we're doing it to spread democracy because we believe in international liberalism. There was no imminent threat to the United States when Trump made this decision to do what Bibi wanted. And I want to be clear here. This was not Trump's decision. It was Bibi Netanyahu's decision. And that is the reason that he did it. And we're very aware that Israel is dictating our foreign policy, and we would now let that to stop.
Okay, but you wouldn't disagree, presumably, that Iran has been the main sponsor of terrorism in the Middle East through the Houthis, through Hezbollah, through Hamas. I mean, that's widely accepted and recognized.
It's widely accepted. No, that's just kind of Israel has been a terrorist state. Okay, Israel right now is imparting a genocide and a Holocaust on the Gazan people. So I'm really over this idea like somehow Israel has the moral high ground and we have to get behind them. We got to go after the bad guys. It's ridiculous that people are concerned about Iran having nukes, but I'm concerned about Israel who won't even admit that they have nukes having nukes. Well, at the same time, they are executing a genocide and a Holocaust in Gaza that the world is watching. So, who's the bigger terrorist is the question.
Iran is death to America. Why doesn't that concern you?
Why are they chanting death to America? Maybe it has something to do with just like killing 1 million Iraqi civilians, okay? Because Bibi Netanyahu on a congressional stage and said there are weapons of mass destruction. We took that to the bank and there actually were no weapons of mass destruction, so we just killed 1 million. It could have something, I could be crazy, it could have something to do with our actions in the Middle East. And we know that Bibi Netanyahu funded the Al-Qaeda adjacent fronts because he wanted to overthrow Syria. Bibi Netanyahu funded Hamas. There's footage of Bibi Netanyahu saying this stuff on camera. So it's just so ridiculous to me to pretend that they're in some predicament, that they may be eradicated soon, which is why they have to keep funding all of these terrorist groups and then pretend that they're victims of terror, when in fact they are people that are imparting it worldwide. And again, these never-ending wars in the Middle East at the behest of Israel. Bibi Netanyahu was the one that called for Americans to invade Iraq, Libya, Syria, Afghanistan, and now Iran, and we've done it. And we're done with the BS of, okay, well, they weren't really involved, Israel and Afghanistan, because even when we fight those never-ending wars, Israel wins. Everybody knows that our boys were out there in Afghanistan guarding poppy fields, okay? And do you know what happened after we allegedly, quote unquote?
All right, guys. It is really still strong in here, so I can't take my respirator off. I'm gonna keep all 3 fans going for another hour or so maybe. And I'll come back and shut everything down again. But I will bid you adieu. Over 2 hours this evening. But we got it. We got the background done. So next thing we can start detailing the buckets. Well, I want to fill in some of the green spots around where I taped up at. Like here, and there's like some gaps here where the tape was at. So I can just go back with a brush and fill in some of these small gaps. I might worry about that later, but we can definitely start working on the portraits now. Background is finito. Done. It's a wrap. That's one of the best things I like about the Whisper series is the backgrounds are normally a lot easier than this was. Focus, camera, focus. This camera don't want to focus for us, guys. Anyway, I think that is going to be our time. I hope everybody has an awesome evening. No, come on, Cam. You don't want to focus right before I leave. What the fuck, man? Yeah, there we go. All right. Have a good evening, guys. I'll get with y'all next time. Peace. We're out here.